And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the black with white trim. His official weight of 8 stones, 5 pounds. He has a record of 44 fights, 19 losses, 2 draws, 23 wins, and 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, introducing Yahaya. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the black trunks. His official weight of 8 stones, 10 pounds. He is currently undefeated with 5 wins, and 1 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Sittingbourne, Kent, England, United Kingdom, Zach the Singapore Cat Phee.
Okay, lads, it's a 6-round contest. Keep it clean at all times, keep yourself protected at all times. Touch gloves, here we go. Good luck, lads.
Zach Phee fighting in memory of his late grandfather tonight, as you can see from his shorts, and perhaps will have to focus
out, round 1.
and continue the run that impressed so much throughout last year, his first outing of 2025. And as ever, we're looking for the adjustments, the fine-tuning, but Barry Jones, we've been impressed by what we've seen so far from him.
No, yeah, we have. He's been really good to watch, and this is another step in that development. A fight where, you know, he can be really dominant. I mean, we're not asking for the same result as Jack Turner, because Jack Turner punches like a super heavyweight. He's unbelievable power for such a small guy. But technique and pressure, I think that can get the job done tonight as well for Zach Phee.
5 pounds between them on the scales as well, Andy. There's a little bit of an advantage there for Phee coming into this one. Maybe something that he wouldn't necessarily have enjoyed in previous fights.
But Yahaya is a tricky guy. He gives away weight in most of the fights that he takes because he's happy to move around the weight divisions. I saw him in November last year against Kerry Magus at York Hall, and he got through 6 rounds on that occasion without too much trouble. So you need to have the attitude against him that you just need to box the way you want to box, try and dictate terms and really see what happens. And Fee's that kind of fighter anyway, isn't he? I think he's got plenty of rounds under his belt. The 1 stoppage coming against Smithson, who we've just seen.
Nice little skirmish there where he managed to close the gap. Quite a high guard while he was in range there, Zach Phee. So mindful of defence, which is something you like to see. We talked earlier on about young prospects getting into good habits.
That's good there from Phee, because he threw a 1-2, stepped in for the left hook for the body, then took that little half step out again as well.
Trying to use his strength. Nice little left hook to the body there from Zach Phee.
It just means Yahaya changed the southpaw, didn't it, then? Off that.
Close up here, Zach Phee. Does look like he wants to be in that kind of range. Maybe try and bully Yahaya tonight. He made Yahaya miss on that occasion before punishing him with a right hand.
This is good. No, he's not rushing anything. He's staying dominant and keeping him under pressure, but again, not trying to get too adventurous yet. Still early in the fight. Unless he has a fight with the referee by the looks of it.
Yeah, a little push from the referee, just as he had pushed Yahaya previously. Slightly unusual little cameo. Must be great though, Barry. You and I and Andy have been talking about sort of young prospects, we're talking about them, how they're moulded or how they develop, whichever way you want to view it. But what a project for the Rumbles. You know, Billy Rumble in that corner. What a project they've got on their hands. What exciting for them, interesting. How they're going to go about it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, again, like, and Andy mentioned this a few fights ago about, you know, you want to add to their game, make them an all-round better fighter, and you know, hone their strengths and try to eradicate their weaknesses without losing anything of what makes you who you are, and that's massively difficult to do.
Here we go into round 2 then. Interesting that Phee wanted to be close and kind of dominant with the space early on in the first round. Looks like he's a little further back in terms of that distance and control at the start of the second round.
Good uppercut there from Phee from distance. And yeah, take a left hook back there though.
Yeah, he was looking for his own little counter left hook, wasn't he?
He was well short with a lead right uppercut there, Yahaya, and that was probably just as well, because that's a risky punch to throw. Phee wasn't really in any position to do anything about it, to counter it. It's a long project they've got though, isn't it, the Rumbles, which is a good thing. There's no rush. He's 20. He's had 23 rounds before tonight. He'll get 6 in here, I'm pretty confident. I guess the challenge in the lower divisions is keeping somebody stimulated and challenged, because there isn't the depth of opposition to choose from. At some point you're probably going to have to make a bit of a leap.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, Barry, isn't it? Because you can, you know, in the lighter weights you can be challenging for a title after sort of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fights.
And in this generation more than any other, there's an urgency to want to rush people to the top as quick as they can get there. And listen, everyone gets at their own pace. That's the truth of it. I mean, people don't get at their own pace. People are ready at their own time. But if you get there before you're ready, it can ruin your career.
Which is why I'm absolutely fascinated with matchmaking. I think making the right decisions at the right time, bringing fighters along steadily, getting the right lessons, asking enough of the questions without over-facing them. And there is an art to that, and I think it's a changing art. I think it's changing again, the era of the O being the most significant, important thing. I think hopefully that's maybe going. I wouldn't say it's gone, but I think it's going. And so matchmaking, I think, is having to evolve again as an art form.
I haven't an issue with that. I'm glad the thing about the mystique about keeping your O, so it doesn't have to stay. Some fighters are lucky enough to be good enough to do that, but also not every fight has to be competitive. It has to be a 50-50 fight all the time. Otherwise, people are having 2-year careers.
But you've got to be learning, and that's actually speaking about Pacheco as we move to the end of the second round. Close the gap again there. It's been a different distance throughout this second round from Phee. But yeah, getting the right kind of lessons as you're going along, so that when you get to the next stage or the one after that you're ready, you're prepared. And I wonder about that with Pacheco, actually, going back to him. I think he's been really cleverly matched. I don't know, and I genuinely don't know, whether he's learning the right lessons as he's gone along. I've got no idea. I think he might be really special. I don't know.
If all your fights are competitive, then you don't practice what you do in the gym. You're just trying to win that fight. I don't know if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
No, it does.
I've been there. That's what happened to me. I didn't really develop much for a long time, because I was just my first fight, the kid was undefeated. And I'm not talking about myself, just an example, because I was there. So you're just trying to win, and you see that quite often. And if you match too hard, you don't really develop the skills that that you're learning in the gym. So you just go off what you could do, and then with a bit more strength and fitness.
It's a real art, matchmaking, though, isn't it? And it's very, very important. A couple of things that have caught my eye in recent months have been Adam Azim and Jared Anderson. Adam Azim was wanted on a Saudi bill against Dalton Smith. He said no, so they offered Piers O'Leary, they offered Sean McComb, and they turned those down as well. And Turki Al-Sheikh, I don't think, was too happy about it. But the McGuigans would have looked at it and thought, no, we don't think they're the right fights for us yet. We've taken a lot of time with this fighter, put a lot of faith into him, invested a lot in him in all sorts of ways, and we're not just going to be told that we have to do this. Whereas Jared Anderson was offered a match with Martin Bakoli that I don't believe for 1 second the top-ranked matchmakers would have done themselves, but it was too good an offer to turn down, and we saw what happened, so you have to be careful.
Yeah, tough gig, not an easy assignment. That was a lovely little short right hand from Phee. You know, he just got through with a body shot, and maybe for one of the first times so far tonight, you've just seen just an element of discomfort maybe in the body language on the face of Yahaya.
Good from Phee here as well. That uppercut's a really good weapon for him. I think he's a little bit too close, but he's making the most of it as well. He's just pushing Yahaya back constantly. That's trying to tire him out, and also using that short uppercut through the middle. But I just think if you get just a little quarter step back, so I think he needs to be close and needs to be that physical bully, that presence, his shadow, you know, just panicking Yahaya, but also just a little bit more room to get the leverage on some of these shots.
Left hook, lovely. Caught Yahaya when he was trying to throw himself. Just maybe forcing the pace, which is good, because I think he's just testing Yahaya here, Andy, and he's just breathing a bit deeper, a bit heavier now.
He is, and he's just leaning in there, just trying to put it on him physically, because, as you said, Yahaya is giving away some size here. And with someone like Phee, given his age at 20, the interesting thing is that every time you see somebody, you can see them change physically. I do think physically he's a bit different to the last time I saw him. And we'll see it before our eyes. You see somebody just fill out and just look stronger and more like a man, and he's just trying to manhandle Yahaya a bit here, doing a reasonably good job of it.
Kind of gone back to the head to chest approach that we saw in the first round.
He did well there to get the space to throw that double left hook there, Phee. See, what he needs now is a little step to the left, spin round to the right. So you sort of dummy to the left, spin round to the right, it keeps him on the rope. Use your forearm just to keep pushing back with the right hand, and then whip that left uppercut through the middle.
Certainly making him work. Just a little pant and a puff on the way back to his corner there, Yahaya. We're about to go into the second half of the fight. It's an interesting discussion, that, isn't it, about the right tests at the right time. Pacheco was good against Nelson last time up, and he's hardly been troubled actually so far in his career. I think he might be one of those guys you could push and be aggressive with in terms of the fights that you ask him off at this stage. But then again, he's still young, isn't he?
And go back to Adam Mazin, for example. I think, you know, now he's boxed at European level, and certainly he's at that fantastic win the day at world level. Let's be honest. Then I don't think the fighters you mentioned, I don't think they're feasible fights. You want to be on a big belt, I think you can take them. Earlier on, I would say maybe why would you want to rush him? But I think he's such a talent, and he's proved it now and shown the strength with it, that, you know, he'd be a favourite against Piers O'Leary. You know, it's a dangerous fight. I understand the reasons why, and you do what's best for your fighter. And it might not always be getting the big money straight away. It might be you look at the long game, the end game.
And also, when you get there, you want to stay there. That's the big thing. And then that leads us into another discussion about the rankings and the ratings,
but that's where all the money is. And then once you win a title, the defence is where you really make the money. So yeah, when you get there, you want to be able to stay there.
And these are all discussions that we'll be having over the next couple of years, should things continue smoothly for 20-year-old Zach Phee. Barry and Andy have been talking about how young he is and how early this is in his career, and how formative these fights are and the stages are.
Moses Atama is the biggest one, because what you do with him, he looks everything. He looks ready. He looks like a man. He punches like a man. He has the movement of a middleweight, the power of a heavyweight. He looks brilliant. But we haven't seen him in a test yet. No, he was meant to be in a test. They haven't been tested for him. What happens when he gets banged? really hard. Does he fall apart because he's still young and you know, and hasn't really experienced that, or does he just shrug it off? You just don't know, do you? And
or is his 2021 the same as someone else's 25, 26, 27?
yeah, exactly.
Might you not get another chance? Well, not another chance, but might this be the time? Yeah, absolutely. No easy questions to weigh up.
That's the fascinating thing, though, isn't it? That you don't know until you know. People can feel like they do know, and with Itauma, I haven't spoken to anyone who's seen him on the night, in the gym, who said anything other than he is the real thing.
Yeah.
And I've said, but what about his chin? I've seen him hit hard in sparring, but it isn't quite the same. It isn't quite the same. They're completely different fighters and backgrounds and all the rest of it, but David Price was going to conquer the world, wasn't he? Until he didn't. So you never know. You never know.
Pressure here again from Zach Phee, landing a nice little short right hand. That's been one of his better punches. That and the left hook to the body. He's been determined to kind of put it on Yahaya tonight, Barry.
There's that step I asked for in the last round. Just a little spin round to the right. Didn't quite come off for him, but it was a right idea, and good that he's thinking now.
Final 30 seconds. Is he smothering his work, or is this the right approach?
No, I think it's the right approach. He's winning the fight. So, but I mean, he is smothering his work too much, I think. But he is finding space to land that uppercut as well, and he's looking to be the bully in there tonight. And that's what's happening so far. But this distance is much better for him. Then you can twist and turn off every punch. Then.
Oh, lovely left hook. Now that just spun Yahaya, who again is just breathing as he goes back to his corner, but he once again knows how to navigate these choppy waters. And nice little late surge towards the end of that round, Andy.
It was a good finish to the round because he pushed him back into the ropes, really dug to the rib cage with the left hand a couple of times, and then took it upstairs. And as we've been saying, he is looking to assert that kind of physicality and just stay on him, really keep that pressure consistent and high. And he's got a couple of rounds left yet, and if we can keep it at this level, I think he'll definitely put a dent in Yahaya. Whether he could get him out of there or not, I'm not absolutely sure, but we're just seeing that kind of double left hook or two single left hooks to the body and then the one up top. It was a nice finish.
I think the most trouble that Phee's had is when the referee pushed him in this in his second round.
Seconds out, round 5.
Here we go then, into round 5 of a scheduled 6. And Zach Phee has been trying to work Adam Yahaya. At the age of 34, maybe he feels that he can just ask a few questions of the gas tank, of the will.
Good shot. And
again, left hook is up the tempo. There he lands it again, and there's a bit more intensity at the start of this round from Phee.
He just hit with the fingers a little bit with that left hook. He's throwing it in nice. Just if he just turn his hand over a little bit, give him more knuckle on the target.
And is that anything to do with maybe just being a tiny bit too close, Barry?
It possibly is. Yeah. And he's trying to accelerate the pace in his work, which is right. But then if you're too close, you'll rush it a little bit too much. But also, he's smothering his work, but also he's smothering the opponent's work as well, by the way.
Yeah, nullifying the space.
Yeah, that's what I wanted
and
to say.
And also the escape routes as well, cutting them off. So a couple of jobs been done by the same tactics. Good thing for the young prospects these days, Andy, is that they've got footage, haven't they, to go and look back on and watch and improve. And
it's definitely a valuable tool, that, because you can analyse in a way that you couldn't previously. The flip side to that coin is that everybody sees you right from the beginning as well, and whereas in years gone by you could learn on the job and have some rough nights and have the odd pretty poor performance and nobody would really bat an eyelid because it's only the people at ringside who would have seen it and there's no record of it, and then you can invent your own alternative version of what happened in any case. Now, if you have a bad night, then everybody can pore over it in minute detail. So there's pluses and minuses, but I think generally it's a good thing, isn't it, to be able to watch all your fights back.
Lands that left hook again, Barry, Zach Phee.
Yeah, but also, you know, spinning around the target again as well. A little bit more of that. But again, it's just, if you can still be a presence, still be a bully, but just, and it's only a little step back. It's not much more. You can actually keep your front foot there, and just take a little step with the back foot. Give yourself a wider stance, but gives you a little bit more room. And if you stay low, then you can also swivel around that semicircle in front of your opponent's body. It allows you just a different angle of every punch then.
Final 10 seconds. Busy round again from Zach Phee. Must admit, slightly different approach and style from him tonight than I was expecting. We've kind of seen him early on in his career, Barry, more kind of boxing at a slightly different distance.
Well, again, like Andy mentioned about, you know, how shapes change, and you might see how that affects how he fights. So maybe this is it. He feels he's getting a bit bigger now, maturing a little bit, just slightly a little bit more. Might feel like he can be a bit more of a bully against a guy who knows he's naturally smaller, who he's already seen on tape, of course, on the internet, and been able to, you know, think, actually, I just bully this guy, push him back, and nullify his work in that route. Or more so, his training team have probably told him that, listen, you need to not allow him room to move around and flick that jab out, so let's just suffocate this space, get right on him, bully him, push him back, uppercuts through the middle, left hooks on the side. That's pretty much what he's done tonight.
Final 3 minutes then. A little left hand from Yahaya. And there's that left hook again from Zach Phee. It's been a few moments throughout so far where you thought he was just making things uncomfortable for his opponent.
That was good from him there. Nice little combination. Step back. He had a little bounce to his step, so he allowed him to jump back in with another combination. See, this distance is good. The pressure's still there. Look a little bit closer if you wanted to, but the pressure's still there. But you can let your puncher go. You can turn from the waist. Get some leverage on your shots.
Not a moment's rest for Yahaya tonight. Yeah, that was clever, wasn't it? Landed the jab, stepped back, drew the counter, and then the left hook over the top, around the side. Cute.
Yeah, he's well inside there, haven't he? Yahaya's taken the most of the punches well, to be honest. Only a couple of shots have really shook him up. Just the pressure have just stopped him from doing any work. So good engine here from Phee.
Yeah, I think he'll have no problem at all when he's stepping through the grades and going up in distance, Andy, to sort of 8 and then sort of title area fights to 10 rounds. I think he'll prosper in that kind of environment.
You'd have thought so. As we were saying earlier, it's been a nice patient build with him so far. I was going to say slow. I wouldn't say necessarily slow. I think it's been about right. I'll be interested to see what they might be looking to do with him next, because I'd imagine in his career up until this point, he's probably won almost every single round that he's taken part in. So next up maybe would be somebody who's going to give him a bit more of a test.
And there's, as you said, there's plenty of time with his career, his age, and also you look at the competition, even for area titles, then English titles before you get to British level. It's a congested area, that super bantamweight division domestically. It is very, very congested. There's a lot of good names and opponents around there, so he'll be able to get plenty of experience before he's in there.
Yeah, he's a long way off all that yet. So I mean, you know, that landscape might change dramatically by the time he gets there. It's all about the learning fight. So you want to see him against a guy who's gonna come to win, maybe, you know, or be a little bit more aggressive, like a Brian Marina version, super bantamweight version of him, or maybe he gets down to featherweight, then they meet sort of like in the middle. That'll be a good test for him. Someone who fires back under pressure, who you can't bully. And you know, just little things like that. Southpaws, tall guys, short guys, punchers, non-punchers. You need to get the all-round. If you can get the all-round experience, and he has the age and the time to do that, then that's only benefits you. It's just, you've got to put, every now and again, you've got to, he's getting to a stage now, another fight or two, where you've got to start chucking in tests for him. Otherwise, you become a little bit stale.
Right, let's get confirmation of it with Huss.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee's scorecard. Referee Sean McAvoy scores the bout 60-54. And your winner, Zach the Singapore Cat Phee.
As Andy said, he's hardly dropped a round in his career to date so far. The test will get bigger. He'll be up to 8 rounders sooner rather than later. He had Adam Yahaya spot a bother a couple of times en route tonight, but got the job done. Another points win, and he'll be sticking his hand up, won't he, gents, for some of the big gigs coming up through the summer.
Oh yeah, when you're young, you want to fight. Once you've won a fight, you want to fight the next night if you can. So being busy is very important. Like, again, we keep saying, activity is the key, isn't it, for progression, success. So the more you're fighting, the more you're learning, the more you're comfortable, the more your confidence boosts up, the more people see you. That's the most important, and you start building your profile.
And we've been sort of talking in and around the boxing business and matchmaking and profiling, and being busy for a young prospect can be it. It's incredible when you think back to Mike Tyson's run towards the world title. I mean, you look at the number of fights that Tyson had in the kind of year and a half building up to that. I mean, he was extraordinarily busy.
He was 27-0, wasn't he, after 18 months? Crazy.
Mad. Anyway, they'll be trying to be busy in 2025 with this young man. Let's hear from him. He's with Ali.
6-0 and another win on a top-tier show. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, it was good, you know. I applied pressure. Again, like I said I would in the pre-fight interviews, you know. I did things that I wanted to do in the gym, you know, that me and Billy have been working on. I think I could have done a few more of the things, but, you know, that's all part of the journey. I'm 6-0, you know, I'm still learning. That's what these fights are for, you know, to get me through, keep me learning, improving and growing.
Now, a step up in opponent, and you won every single round. You said you were going to walk through him every round, win. Did you feel comfortable? Did you feel like it was a step up?
Yeah, I felt very, very comfortable, you know. Obviously, in the gym, you know, working with Bill, we've got a game plan down, you know. We knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to apply pressure. We knew he was an awkward southpaw. We knew he looked for them big swings, and we wanted to try and apply pressure and basically do as much damage as possible.
And at the end, before the result, Billy, we saw you chatting and going through some stuff. What was the instructions you were giving him?
Yeah, you know, like what you see in there, just to apply that pressure intelligently. Now I think Zach's ready for the next stage, the next step up, where we're going to look for, you know, like a bit of a 60-40 fight where somebody's going to come and throw and have a go with him. And I think that'll bring the best out with him. He's only 20, he's still young, so we're taking it step by step, but he's improving every time. He's a hard worker, he's well disciplined, and he'll go all the way, So when are we next going to see you out?
God willing, March the 30th on Johnny's next show at You'll Call, Sunday the 30th. I'd just like to say, in the camp to this, I lost my granddad due to Alzheimer's. My grandma's in the building now, you know, she don't normally come to my fights, but she wanted to come to this one and watch, so she's somewhere in the building. I haven't quite seen it yet, but it's over there, yeah.
She's getting a bit emotional, I think.
Yeah, you know, it was hard losing my granddad at the start of the camp, but yeah, we got through it, you know. Shout out to the Alzheimer's Society as well. I got their badge on my shorts for the forget-me-not as well. And yeah, I'd just like to say that.
Well, final word then to your friends and family and all the supporters who have come out.
I've done a load, like 3 times as many tickets I've normally done. So shout out to all of you lot for coming out. I promised entertaining performance, and I hope you're all entertained. And, you know, make some noise, make some noise.
Well, well done. Another great performance.
Thank you, Ali.